Good evening, and I welcome everybody to the Pearl L. Crawford Memorial Library Board of Trustees meeting of September 26, 2023, and we're starting the meeting at 6:18. Let us begin by saying the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And, yeah, okay, that's good.
So before we start,
Yes.
I just want to make a comment. I saw Lisa, who takes our notes, and she just asked that everyone speaks into a microphone. And then the other issue she has is when we list acronyms. She says, I'm not comfortable enough. So she just asked us to list it out.
VLC,
Yes,
Mass Board of Library
exactly.
Commissioners, yes.
So, and then whoever makes a motion and
I'll make
second.
sure I
Yes.
spit that out like I
Yep.
did. I saw the note, and so date, time, what we're doing. It makes total sense, but I hadn't thought about it. All righty, let's review some minutes, please. Let's go one by one. Let's start with June 20th, 2023. The minutes of June 20th, 2023. We're getting caught up with all the craziness of this summer. We're going to approve a few sets of minutes. I hope everyone.
On that one, if somebody wants one, for
Yeah,
posterity's
please.
sake. That one?
I
There you go.
print them out, excuse me.
Ended
No
up
worries.
printing two by mistake. It was such a good meeting, I thought I had
Yes.
double.
I'll entertain a motion if there's no
Chairman, I would move that
questions.
we accept the minutes as presented for June 20th, 2023, and I would note that at this meeting, we acknowledged that Pat would be coming back to us.
Oh, this is true. It seems like so long ago, but yes,
Here
welcome
I
back. I have a motion to approve a June 20th minutes. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Joyce seconds. And any other comments? All in favor?
Uh,
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Okay, let's go on to the minutes from July 25th, 2023, please.
There is one note in here with references to Clark's, like there's more than one of me. I don't think we want to encourage that thought too much.
Can you tell us where, Richard?
It's on, well, what I have is page 3.
Okay.
Mr. Clark brought up the fact that so on and so forth. Mr. Craver said he liked Clark's suggestion.
I think
It's about the
Possession.
second paragraph from the bottom.
All righty. So noted.
Needs an apostrophe. Needs an apostrophe.
No, that's insignificant, certainly.
Any other comments?
Chairman, I would move that we accept the minutes for the July 25th, 2023 meeting as presented.
With one correction. Okay. We have a motion to accept July 25th minutes by Mr. Clark.
And I will second.
We have a second by Joyce. All in favor?
Aye.
Great. And August 22nd, 2023. I'll entertain a motion.
Chairman, I would move that we accept the August 22nd, 2023 meeting minutes as presented.
We have a motion by Mr. Clark for the August 22nd minutes.
I'll second.
Joyce seconding it again. Any other comments? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous again. Thank you. All right, those are three sets of minutes that Lisa Berg very nicely did. The executive session, obviously, there was no video of that. And I'm going to turn this over to Pat for a moment.
I'm going to hand out the minutes for that session. I'd like you to take a look at them with regard especially to the first motion and see if it meets your recollection.
Right. So Pat has passed out the minutes for the executive session of July 13th, 2023, asking that each member read it. We haven't seen these before. And then if there's comments, they should be written because we can't discuss these in public because we're on public notice. So if there's anything you'd see that should be changed, please write it on the minutes that you've just received, and then we'll hand them back to Pat, and then we will actually should finalize them if need be changed, and we'll deal with that at our next meeting.
I would like to thank Pat for having been able to capture this
Yes.
information as well as she has. Certainly, I know there was some concern in terms of gathering all of this together. But thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Richard. Okay, we'll collect the minutes when you're done.
Goes to the side, or you want me to pick them up?
Sure.
Oh, here she comes.
I apologize.
Great to sit
Either here or over there.
Yes.
You'd like.
Oh,
There we go.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
compliments to the chair. That's quite the pen you have there.
I know, isn't that wild?
I will collect them.
Did you get that from National Grid? Oh, okay, all right. Almost the same thing.
Really?
And I apologize for the incorrect name.
Oh, it's okay. It's confusing to a lot of people.
She changed her name on the website, so she told me today.
Have you seen any changes? Because if there are no changes, we could actually act on this, couldn't we, tonight?
As amended, yeah. Yeah, there is. I have.
Oh, then we will wait. Then we will wait, because everybody should see the amendments. I didn't know there was amendment. Okay, very good. We will wait. But we will give, Kate has just arrived to join us, and she is reading these minutes as we speak.
Any corrections need to be in writing?
In writing, please. We're not discussing.
Is it that?
And then we're going to pass, if there are none, we're passing right back to.
Well, that's not what I said.
Oh, excuse me.
Where would you like me to write it?
Oh, on
Right
that,
on
please.
there.
Excuse
Oh,
me,
yeah,
I
right
missed
on
that. I
there,
missed
yeah.
the second half.
Yeah,
of that.
I'll
My
amend,
mistake.
yeah.
Yes, and then we'll give it back to Pat to deal with.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Alrighty, so those minutes will be brought back up at next month's meeting. Okay, number 3, Director's Report, current staffing, and I'm going to ask Lita to help us out with this one.
So our current staffing, we are losing Susan on November 15th due to retirement. And we are also losing Lena as of October 5th. She accepted a position elsewhere.
So, we have obviously 2 open positions. I suggest we get the ball rolling, because
Yes.
we're going to be in trouble if we don't get some quality. Lita brought with her,
The last 2 advertisements for circulation aids.
These, would this comprise the job description? This is just the ad.
This is the ad.
The ad.
I did not bring the job description per Ben, but if you would like it, it's easy enough to email to you, I'm sure.
Are we gonna
Do you want,
update the
do you
job
want me just, why
description?
don't I just sit here and read this?
Oh, this is a matched pair. huh?
Yes, it's a
yeah,
matched
okay.
pair.
All right, here
You
we
wanna
go.
read, I mean, we might as well advertise to the
Right.
whole town.
Yep.
Town of Dudley, Pearl Hill Crawford Memorial Library, part-time library circulation aide. The Crawford Library in Dudley is seeking to hire a part-time library circulation aide. Position is 10 to 14 hours per week and includes Saturdays from 9:30 to 2 from September, well, now it's all year long.
That's-
Duties, right. Duties include circulation of books and other library materials, processing of interlibrary loans, clerical administrative tasks, assisting patrons in the use of library technology such as online catalog, internet databases, and downloadable e-audio book service. Previous library experience desirable, especially with Evergreen automated system. Minimum of high school diploma or GED required. 1 year of work experience, preferably in a library, customer service, or public service environment, or an equivalent combination of education and experience. Must possess office and social media platforms such as Facebook and Instagram required. Starting hourly rate is $15 an hour. Submit letter of interest, resume, and contact information of 3 professional references via email, and that'll change also.
Yes.
And the date will change, so I don't need to repeat those. And then, so did that, do you know where that went to?
Well, that's Karen Wall.
That's
No, 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 where we posted
Western
this.
Times, I would assume at least, and
No, but I'm sure I could figure it out. I'm sure it went to the Massachusetts Board of Library Commissioners.
BLC.
Yeah, okay. And then the second was library lover wanted for part-time library aide position. Duties include checking library materials in and out, helping patrons and computers and ebooks, shelving materials, producing event posters and flyers, and assisting with programs and summer reading. Ideal candidate will have an excellent computer and customer service skills and ability to work well as part of a team to meet the needs of patrons of all ages. Prior library experience is a plus. This 15-hour-a-week position works Monday and Thursday evenings and Saturday. Okay, this is specific. Submit resume and
This-
Town of
this is the
Dudley. This
most
is just a
recent
different
one.
Yeah.
one. But I mean, these are
I
similar.
really, I like the tone of this one better
The second one.
Right,
than
yeah.
this one, for sure.
I would agree. Is there anything we think we need to add or change it, though?
I
Or is it-
Except that you
I
can
think
make a
it-
combination of the two.
I think
just
the
lighten it
hours
up.
may change. The days and times may change.
Yes.
I don't
think
think
we-
it should list specific days and times.
Right, because
don't think it
we're,
should.
we're gonna be jumping all over the place for a while, but just to cover
Right,
everything.
and also, the only opportunity for any other staff to switch hours or move their hours around if they would like is if somebody is leaving, and
There
things
you
like
go.
that. So we may have staff members that want to switch things
West,
around.
okay.
So do we want to include 15-hour?
Nothing has happened yet.
Nothing, and this was,
This is past.
yes.
So, do you see, being the most senior person there, things that need to be in here that are not in here or deleted?
I don't think so.
Let me take that back a bit if
Go
I may.
ahead.
This 15-hour-a-week position, we're saying Monday, we're specifying days here. Do we want to take those out?
We
Yeah,
are
we're
going
not-
to.
Okay.
These are just
Yes.
to give us a rough start.
I really don't see any other,
I think we find it difficult when people have set hours, days and times.
Yeah.
That's when we run into a problem.
Flexibility
So
is
I
definitely
think,
preferred.
Yeah.
No,
that is
no
more-
hours, no days.
Yeah.
You're
exactly.
hired.
but we may wanna say that it's, this position is, up to 19 hours a week.
Okay.
Instead of doing 15 hours, because we
Yeah.
don't know, but
That
it
makes
could,
sense,
up to 15 hours a week,
Mhm.
but no days.
And what you just talked about, almost, this is the time when other existing staff members may want to change. Do you see that happening as a possibility on Saturdays? And that we may want to post this for Monday through Saturday? I mean, because,
Hours vary
Yeah.
Monday through Saturday.
yeah,
I'm not sure, to be honest.
but we
I-
can
I
put that,
think it
yeah.
should be, yeah.
Up to 19 hours, Monday
Yep.
through Saturday.
Yep. You want flexibility,
Yep.
and that's, this is the time to do it, maybe, because
Exactly.
we're losing 2 staff members, you know, this is the time to, yeah.
Oh,
We have to get permission from the town administrator to start this process, which we
Yes.
haven't. All right,
the hiring freeze is off.
right.
Yeah.
But it
That's-
shouldn't be problematic just to
No.
get it, but,
I
okay.
mean, I can send this, I can revise this and send it to you and then send it to him.
Please.
And we might just wanna add, library wanted for 2 part-time library positions.
Yes.
Yep.
Will they both be 15 to 19 hours?
Yes.
Just an idea to throw out there. Should we go back to trying to get a 30-hour person? This is, again, the time to discuss this. We've had this discussion in the past, and then that gives us a more,
So what are you
Person.
thinking of, one of the positions is gonna be a 30-hour position?
or could we combine the two and make it one 30-hour position? I'm asking you that of you, Lita.
I think that falls into a different category
Yeah, it
as
does.
far
We
as the
know.
town.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying, now's the time to ask, because we got, again,
Then
we got
we would-
flexibility here, we should be talking
And
about
I
these
think we
things.
need certainly the involvement of the town administrator before we made that decision.
If-
Oh, yes.
If we decide that that's what we wanna do, the job description would just have to be rewritten, but that's.
Exactly,
that can be
exactly,
done.
no, I'm just,
I mean,
I
I-
just bring it up for now.
I could also foresee that there may be, a possible internal candidate for that.
There you go, yeah. And so we'd be back to 2 part-timers, you know, I see what you're saying. Somebody
one
may
part-
wanna
one
jump
part-
up.
one part-time.
One time, yeah, that's true,
But,
yeah. Which is-
it certainly would be helpful, you know, at this point, if anyone is sick, we are,
Yeah.
you know.
Exactly. That was my thinking, that we have someone who is more reliably there, more hours per week to be available if.
When we were fully staffed, it wasn't as much of a problem
Right.
where it is now.
Right,
But we're going to become fully staffed, so
yes.
is that gonna then be,
Is it gonna be a problem if we don't have 2, but we replace it with 1? We're gonna be there more often. I mean, because if we had 2 15-hour people and we get 1 30-hour person.
We
it's-
would have to make sure that at least one of the staff members we'd have to rearrange our times because these 2 staff members that are leaving work together on one day.
Okay.
But I think we can be flexible and move around.
Well, one's
I mean,
leaving
I'm
October
game
5th, the
if-
other one
I
is
mean-
until November 15th.
yes.
say that
But
again?
yes, please.
One is moving October 5th, one is leaving, the
Right.
other
Right.
Right.
not until the 15th of November.
Right.
so-
Again, I think we need, because it's an HR situation.
yes.
Effectively, Mr. Ruder or the
Right.
town administrator is the head of HR, absent our no longer existing personnel committee. And I think we have to involve him in terms of that decision, because
Right.
that 30-hour person becomes eligible for certain
Yes.
Benefits, yeah.
benefits
Yeah.
that.
No, I totally agree. I'm just saying, if it's a no-go here, we're done. But if it's a yes-go, then we go see Mr. Ruda.
I think it was a conversation about a
Yes.
year, maybe more or so
Oh, yeah.
ago, yeah.
We've had this discussion
But
before,
we've
and
also hired somebody that came in to do that Saturday, that was that extra person.
Right.
So it's the budget, it's more, where's the money, like, to come up with, if you're gonna be paying for someone's benefits and, because it's a 30-hour position,
Right.
that
yeah,
changes it.
yes, I agree.
And benefits come out of the town
town
budgets,
side.
not our
Yeah.
side.
So again, I think.
That makes a big difference.
I'm going back to, I think Pat's mentioned it, it's worth a conversation, at least. So I think we need to schedule some time with Mr. Ruda and.
Okay, so it's worth
Get
it.
that-
It's
yeah.
worth asking, okay.
I have one question.
But,
Um,
yes,
I guess what we're doing here is we're anticipating whether people will be more interested in like a part-time position with flexible hours, not too many hours, and a more of a full-time position. Last time you were hiring, did you find more people who were more flexible, they wanted a few hours here and there, or did you find?
We did
You
not
weren't
pursue.
involved in any of
we didn't
that?
pursue the 30 hours.
No.
I can tell you that most of the surrounding libraries have both sets of full-time employees of around 30 hours and part-time employees. So it works both ways, but I know Southbridge is currently hiring for a full-time library assistant. Oxford has several, Charlton has several full-time assistants.
I think we're ready for that, actually.
Okay, so, all right, so at this point, revamp, but then we'll have to talk to John, and if it's a go, if he says we can do this, then we will I got big. We will, we'll revisit and have to change the request. All right, so more to come on that one.
So basically, one 30-hour position and one 15 to 19-hour position?
What you
Maybe
said was
we
combining the two into one
Combining the two.
30-hour position.
One 30-hour.
Oh, one
And
30
then if someone internally wants
Oh,
it,
that's where I was
then we would
confused. Okay.
have to go out for another
Okay.
part-timer. All right, very good. That will be done. Programs, give us an update on how summer reading went, and hopefully there's not any more upcoming summer events. since we're
I
past.
think not, since we're in fall. But summer reading went well. We had approximately 450 total signups for summer reading between children, adults, and teens. So we did well in that respect. The programs that we did have were, I would say, well attended. You know, our end of summer bubble party, I want to say we had about 30 children and adults on a Saturday. But it went well. People were happy with the prizes we had, with, you know, that we were open, all the things. So that was good. We're back to our weekly activities, story times on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I've added Monday afternoon movies, trying with a different theme each month. You know, some themes are better than others, or some people like different movies than others. You know, it all depends on what people like. We were able to reinstate all the standing orders for large print books and recorded books, so those have come in already. We've done book orders for adults and children. Those have come in and been processed, as well as DVDs, and are on the shelves. The Spooktacular is scheduled for October 26th from 4 to 6. So it's a parade from starting at the library up to the town hall. I usually, in the past, we've set up a photo backdrop that we already have, so that gets set up. And we usually have little things to give the kids when they come, along with the other things. The town has implemented a new system for miscellaneous and other deposits. So I had training on that September 6th.
Excuse me, are these monetary deposits?
Yes, like our money that we get from copies, from
Okay.
printing, from lost books. When the endowment money comes in, if we get money for, we've gotten a check for the charging stations. So those kinds of deposits, we do have deposits that come in and money that goes in. So it's all an online automated system. So you put everything in, print out the receipt basically, and then just bring it up and give it to the treasurer, and he acknowledges that it's gotten there. So I've already used that. I had to go back and forth a little bit to tweak it to make sure all of our things were in it, but we're good to go. I've started keeping track of all the statistics, expenditures, as you saw on the attached spreadsheet, except for the special accounts at the bottom, but we've started keeping track. I know that not all of the budgeted year amounts are correct because I don't have all those numbers. And then they will change most likely again in October. So as long as I think we're keeping track right now, at least you know where we're at. I went and did state aid training as well. That is due October 6th, so I was working on that today. That would be needed to be signed and emailed back to them before October 6th. I plan on having it done by Wednesday afternoon because I want to get everything in, look at it again, and then be ready to submit everything just to make sure that I've looked at it more than one time. And then the second graders from Dudley L are coming to visit me Friday. They're always fun. And
How many students did they say?
it's usually around 100. They come in 2 different groups, so I have like 60 and 40. We do a rotating kind of center-based where they come in, they spend 20 minutes. They're 20-minute sessions, but one section is with me where we talk about what the library has and different things they can do with the library, or different things, like I bring out a ukulele to show them different materials we have. One section is looking at the play area and letting them explore and play a little bit, and the other area they have a scavenger hunt to find different areas in the children's room and look for different places in it.
Just trying to visualize 100 second graders.
Well, there's only 60, like 60
Well, even
and 40.
60 or 40, even at 40, that's
It'll be a little louder, but not.
Oh, well, and they do come.
That's
They
good,
start
Lana's good
coming.
once in a while, yeah.
They start coming also at about 9:15. So the first section, they're there before we're even open. Well, it's easier for their schedule, and for me, I'm already there anyway, so it doesn't really bother me one way or the other. And we have another Pearl Jam coming up for October 12th. That's Halloween and seasonal songs. Wingmasters Birds of Prey is coming October 28th. Those are the 2 bigger ones, and then the movies. And the Friends book sale, of course, is October 19th through the 21st as well. So if you have any books to donate, now would be the time. Their inventory is getting better, but of course a lot of inventory sold, so there's not as much. So, any questions for me?
Have you started the, like lunch and a movie with the seniors?
They have not contacted me.
They haven't, okay.
I see that they're open here now. I've seen seniors going in,
Yes,
so there is some time,
but I still thought that was a nice integration
Yeah.
of
Me
the
too,
availability,
yeah.
you
Right,
know,
yeah.
and a good way for us, I mean,
to bring them into the library, yeah.
because they're voters, and, you know, we want to thank them. for
Right,
their
and that's not a
support.
problem. I mean, even when we do movies too, we also do popcorn because we have our popcorn machine and stuff. So,
So is
but-
that something you could call them about versus waiting for them to call you? Like, I don't know.
And I'm
How
not.
was that started? I don't remember.
I did
even
it.
know.
I did it right here at the meeting.
Oh,
When it was
okay, I
all
don't
the
remember.
department heads.
Okay.
When we were talking about the budget for next year, there was a discussion that the senior
didn't know where it came
center,
from.
the senior
Okay.
center director was pretty much upset because this building is only open so many days. Is that changed yet?
No.
I
Won't
don't think
until after
so. I
our
think it's,
October meeting, most likely.
Right.
Okay,
Not yet.
so I went up to her after the fact. I didn't do it in public. I just went up to her after the fact. I said, "What are your requirements?" And she says, "Not much, because we bring the
I will
luncheons."
see
Yeah,
her, so I will ask her this weekend.
please,
Would
you
you
will.
like-
do
would you
know, 'cause
like
I
one of
can't
my
even
cards to
remember her
give her?
name.
I would
Thank you,
love one.
thank you. Yeah, thank you, thank you.
while we're on the general subject,
Yes.
in the past, and one of the issues that I think we struggled with a bit is Board of Selectmen, I think, have been criticized as not having a presence in the library, or likely not seen in the library with any frequency. I'm trying to make sure I word that correctly. In the past, we have had a meeting of the Board of Selectmen
we
on
have.
site in the Fells Room.
Yeah.
I wonder if we might want to extend, I know that it might be best done after we've arrived at or decided on an interim director, but at
Yes.
some point in the future, invite them
I
to
think we should.
have a
I-
meeting again on site.
May I interject one? I did invite all town staff and selectmen to come down and have their picture taken getting a new library card or checking their library card for Library Card Month. Rich Carmignani did come down, and I have to post that on Facebook tomorrow, but he was the only volunteer we had.
Well, if we have a formal meeting, they kind of have to be there, so
I-
that brings it to
I
another
will
level.
say that I believe it came down to videoing. Like,
That's
that
usually what it
might
is.
have been-
Yeah.
That's why
They
we're
have done
here.
it.
We
I
have
know,
done it.
but
I don't
I
know,
don't
you
know
know,
that
that
it's-
was, obviously, the
Yeah.
video staff was.
Different then.
Different then, so
Yeah.
I'm not too sure that, hopefully, some of the same capabilities are still there.
I think that'll be perfect when we have a new person, at least one new person at the head of us, introduce he or she.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, good idea.
okay.
Good
Again,
idea. Yeah, when we
the timing
kind of
is-
know when it's gonna be about, we'll go talk to Michelle. Michelle, book us.
One thing I also forgot, I'm sorry. I've been invited to the Dudley PTO Fall Festival on October 15th. It runs from 11 to 2. I will most likely be there from probably 10 to 3. Between setup and tear down and all the things, they've asked us to do slime again, which the biggest expense is glue, which we have plenty of, so I'm not worried about buying more. And
Excuse me, that was the 15th?
yes.
of October.
Can kids sign up for cards, for library cards? Can we have a
Not
presence
that-
as of the library, not just make slime?
We would need somebody else in addition, because making slime is very involved. I get a few high school volunteers, but I will say that every year, all first graders and second graders come to visit the library and have the opportunity to sign up for cards. So they all have that opportunity to get that. So as I've now done it, this is the third year that second graders have come. I have fewer and fewer second graders that need library cards, I will say.
Good.
I did notice, and I didn't see them today, I've been over at the Mason Road Elementary School on occasion, and there were these little introduction to the library handouts that you had
Yes,
there.
I brought those over.
Yeah, those are really good. I didn't see that there were any of them left today, but I'm assuming that they've all been distributed and people are using them.
Yes, well, because in June, I went to both schools to talk to all of the children about summer reading and what they could earn and what they have to do, and brought flyers and things like
Kudos,
that, and I do
think.
that every year.
I think that it's really, I was impressed. It looked good, thank you.
At this festival, I assume other people will be there, not only children, their parents or grandparents.
Right, and I
so
usually bring
it's a good
flyers.
opportunity.
I bring flyers with them. A lot of the kids, I'll see a lot of them that I know, but we do have all that information, and it's not that we're just doing that. We're also telling them what's at the library and what they can come do. So it's not just.
Not just
It's
slime.
no, it's you're talking about the library and what things you're doing, but in order to get a library card, it's all computerized anyway. So I don't have that ability to bring that and have Wi-Fi and do it
Okay, that's why
like
I'm
this.
asking.
Is this a photo op? I mean, something for the Webster Times to publish?
I'm sure the
They will
Webster
be
Times
there.
will be
Get a
there.
camera? Okay. then-
I think the PTO takes the photos and submits them.
All right, well, try to encourage them to submit ours.
I'm pretty sure I was in
They
there
go
last
around
year.
and take all the.
Ah.
This is the second year I've done this, so I'm pretty sure that they are on top
Okay.
of that.
Very good. Staffing, programs, how about budget? And since out,
I sent out a,
Spreadsheet.
yeah,
yep,
so this, I forgot to change the top, I'm sorry, to fiscal year 2024, but this is so far what, we have spent. And this was as of September 20th.
so nothing unusual at the moment, all
No.
pretty good, that's good, we like boring reports, that's fine, we don't need
Yeah.
anything strange.
I need to see how that's on there.
She said that, Debbie said that there's a new system that they're putting in place, and it's not quite there yet for doing special accounts. So she added these in, but I'm
Yep.
not sure it's in their systems yet.
Well, and I have a separate spreadsheet from what they have, because we're not on the same
Right.
systems.
Yep.
That's it.
The October 19th budget proposal, someone who went to that department head meeting want to speak up? Did you go?
The department head meeting that was just here?
Right.
Yes, I was
Yeah.
there, I was present.
Yeah.
They didn't ask any questions and they just continued on. They brought up the library and, you know, said that they had reached, and I thought you had met with them, so the amount that they presented, I wasn't questioning because you just met with him and it was corrected, I thought.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, October 19th, was that
think it's the
reference to the
16th.
town meeting?
I'm not sure.
It's the 16th.
Oh,
I-
it's
Yeah,
16th.
the town
okay.
meeting would be the 16th.
Okay, 16th.
No, you're talking just this last meeting
Yes, I
on
was just talking,
21st.
yes,
Yeah.
I was just talking,
August
that's what I was
21st.
asking about, because that was in preparation for the 16th.
Yeah, I did view the video of that, was they went through the warrant
They
articles.
went through the warrant and-
Articles, and there
Yeah.
seemed to be any,
Didn't
There
look
was
at the
nothing.
numbers,
Issues
I
there.
probably should have.
The
Do you
what?
happen to have that? The budget that they're gonna present?
This is what they presented.
I did not see it. I saw
I
right
heard them
after
say- I heard them
This is
say it 'cause I
local
watched the video.
receipts.
Well, I watched the
That's
video,
one
but then
thing that
I told Ben that
I'm sure we can get a copy of it.
and he went and talked to them.
Budget
so-
overview.
Yeah, but this is after.
Yeah, and I haven't seen that one.
Yeah,
since
it was
last year.
380,000.
I can do this, not at this moment. I will look at that before we go. Okay. All right. Facility report, service contracts were up to
The
date.
Siemens smoke alarm has been
Yes.
replaced, so we are good to go there.
I was getting a call daily.
Oh, yeah, I love those calls.
We're still getting calls from Johnson Control, even though we do not pay them for anything. We don't have a contract with them. We
Don't
have
give them my number.
Informed them
Please.
We've informed them through telephone calls and in writing, and they are still contacting us.
So what is Johnson Controls?
They
Because, yeah, I
were,
never asked.
they were the contract for monitoring the fire systems and smoke alarms and such.
So what monitors it now?
Siemens.
Okay.
Siemens, yeah.
But for some reason, I mean, we haven't paid them in 2 years, and Johnson Control still keeps calling or
Okay.
sending us letters.
Perhaps you could either forward a letter stating who your new coverage is. You know,
I can forward the same letter, which has all that same information on it. They've been informed, like I said, in writing, by telephone, everything.
They just don't give up, that's
No.
what it comes down to. It's a salesman with the foot in the door, and they won't let it go. So, it's just an annoyance, unfortunately.
Right, today we were closed due to the water main. We opened at 3 o'clock.
Oh, yes.
Due to the water main work. Supposedly it's good to go now. They're still working on the road outside the library, which is still closed, but, water.
Actually, they opened it tonight.
They did open it tonight. I came that
up-
way.
I came up the back way.
But I went out there to talk to them at 12, and there's just a giant hole in the ground, without water.
bonus.
Yeah. So, but past that, everything else seems to be fine.
So you were at the library today? You stayed?
I was there from 11, I got there around 11.
I didn't realize the library was closed today. Oh, I would have liked to have gotten that memo. I missed that.
I think it was on, I got it, and I don't get a whole lot like you do, so.
On email or?
I didn't get anything that the
I didn't
library
get
was
it.
closed
I saw it
today.
on Facebook.
I had it on Facebook, on our website, and on our sign. And I'd been going back and forth with Ben
Right, yeah,
about it.
yeah. Lita's been keeping me abreast of all the fun.
I did find the vendor for the replacement covers for the children's section, so I
Oh.
can contact them. I have their card, so I can contact them to get a quote if you would like.
We can move on with that. I don't see why we can't.
I agree.
Please get a number, anyway.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly, please. Okay, let's go to number 4, interim library director hiring update. Pat's been collecting and,
Resumes, we have 5 good resumes that we've received, and my recommendation is that we start, we start with a,
Can we move the mic a little closer to Pat,
Yeah.
just to be
Yeah.
sure?
Oh, yeah.
Lisa did
all right,
mention.
I need to lean in, right?
yes, please.
Okay, that we come up with a committee, a possible members of a candidate review committee. And it should be like 5 to 6 members, and can include 2 trustees. Now, I know Ben had asked me,
Can we get up to 3 trustees? Or did you just say 2 or 3?
we could get 3.
Okay.
Sure. But all the trustees are gonna have a chance to meet the final candidates. I don't know that they need to sit in on all of them. I think there will be definitely more than 2 people reviewed. But if you could, since we won't mention any names, since people have not been contacted about this yet, if you
I will
wanted
do
to,
this.
Or, you know, you could send me.
Well, if people know.
Or just write on there, these are some people that I just put out there. And I know Ben asked if I would be on, but I think rather than be on the committee, I would like to be a facilitator and just organize things. Contact people, provide you with whatever copies you need, you know, call references.
So should we say up to 2 trustees plus you?
Yeah, just as a facilitator, I won't
Yeah.
actually participate in the interviews until the second part.
If I may, this is 5 or 6 members, including trustees, so there are 5 people noted here, so that
Well,
would
I
be
just,
7.
no, that's not, no, those are just my suggestions, so
Okay.
I don't,
Oh,
yeah.
that's yours, I
Alright.
guess. Okay, good.
Staff?
No, I don't think so.
Based on availability, some
I
people
talked-
may take
yeah.
themselves off that list.
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly, yeah. And I wouldn't, what I'll do is when anyone gives me names, I will send the whole list to everyone. And you can, you know, kind of decide which people you feel are best suited.
I took a look at the new employee handbook, and sadly, there isn't a whole lot in there in terms of any of the hiring process. I mean,
Right.
there's a whole lot about misuse of telephones and a lot of other things in there, but it doesn't cover this at all.
No, yeah, it doesn't. And,
And I know in the past, we've been closely associated with the Personnel Committee, which again doesn't exist any longer, so it's
Yeah.
kind of new territory to some extent here.
When John Ruda that recommendation you just mentioned, Pat, what came from John Ruda? 5 or 6, search committee of 5 or
Yeah.
6 people, our community members. We can obviously have a quorum of us on it. And I do believe this is a power that the chair has. So after she collects, if you'll send them to her, I just want to keep this moving. So I'm thinking I will pick a committee and let let Pat, let everybody know, the facilitator, and we'll just keep this moving, because
When's the end date on
we
submitting?
don't have a specific end date, but I think we have viable candidates certainly, and I think we should move ahead and start getting someone in place. Because there'll be a process, once that person agrees, you know, then we have to do the
Time
Cory
to-
check and the physical and all the rest of it. So, you know, we're still talking some time out there.
sooner the better.
And
So,
this is still for an interim director,
Correct.
correct?
Right.
Interim, yeah.
correct.
Okay.
So did we want to update what we have on record at the Mass Board of Library Commissioners to indicate an end date as of the 15th of October or something like that?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it just
Well,
goes
I
on.
think there had to be one on there, so you have to give one.
We have to give one?
Yeah,
Okay, so there is a
exactly.
end date then?
Yeah,
Okay.
so.
So what was the end date that was
I
submitted?
don't recall. I think I may have put the 30th of October, but I can edit that clearly. Yeah. I told, I had a response, and it said, by mid-October, we should have some decisions about who we called back, and I'd get back to them at that point.
Oh, it's good news.
Yes.
Definitely.
So I'm going to ask members of this board to contact Pat with either your personal interest, if you wish to be part of that, and any other community members you would suggest be on that list, please. And you'd like that by? Tomorrow?
I can tell you right now, I wanna be a part of the committee.
No, just put it
So
on
will you
there.
be available for interviews, though?
It depends on the time, but I really want to be.
Oh, I know, but typically we have a.
You definitely will at the end, but yeah.
Yes,
so-
yeah, explain that piece of the process again.
Yeah, so there'll be people who interview the candidates who come in for the interview, and then it'll be,
Narrowed.
Recommend-
narrowed
Recommendation,
down
yeah.
to two, maybe.
And we can't attend all of them?
We get into the
No, no.
open meeting situation if
either
we
or.
have a quorum
No,
of
no,
us.
for the
Initial.
it'll be the search committee that we're creating. That cannot be a quorum, or we has to be in public. That process will be done privately with all the candidates. The search committee will narrow it down to 2, 3, whatever they think they wish. Then we go to public and we do it. The 6 of us will be there for the public last set of questions.
Now, there is, the ad has been posted through the town on Indeed.com, but there really haven't been any viable candidates that have come through there. So, because I checked with Michelle today, and she said also that, that I have sent any resumes that have come in, the 5 that have come in, to them, and her search committee is going to look at them, which is the 3 people. Michelle, Lori, and the young woman who did the minutes for your meetings, I think.
Lisa,
The intern.
oh, Caitlin.
Yeah.
Well, Caitlin's
Well-
leaving, Caitlin's left.
No, it's another name, I think.
Lisa Baruch?
Not Lisa.
She's
Laura
No,
is
she's
replacing.
not here, she's not here now. She's an intern, she's back at school.
Oh, Olivia.
Yeah.
That's the name.
That's the name, yes. So, but Michelle felt that they're all good candidates, so.
So you received those letters of interest. Good.
So going forward, the initial,
Interviews.
applicants and interviews, do you have a days and times you're thinking? Like, I'm just thinking about my schedule, if I was to put in an
It depends on the
interest.
people too, whether, they're working and they can only come after work. Some may have to be in the evening, so I don't know that as yet. It's gonna be room availability too, so a lot of that has to be coordinated.
There's a lot of moving parts,
Yeah, a lot of
unfortunately.
moving parts, yeah.
It's good that you've offered to be the coordinator of
Yes,
such.
thank you.
Thank you, Pat.
You're
Yes.
welcome. You're welcome.
Alrighty. Moving right along. Crawford Corner MLA Studio Update. They reached out to Joyce a month ago now?
Yeah, Richard and myself.
Yes, because everything was getting bounced back after Drusilla had left. And then Joyce answered them and gave Adriana and my emails to them. And I sent back to, I must admit, honestly, I forgot all about it, but I did send Joanne, who's a part of MLA, a message, and she hasn't had enough time to respond back to me. She was asking first of all, was Drusilla with us any longer, because she hadn't gotten anything, and then she was asking what our plans were. Are we planning to go rebid what we did? And I said, with my response is, I said, we're having a meeting shortly, and it'll be on the agenda, I'll ask about it. So, what is our druthers on Crawford's Corner?
What's the definition of Crawford School?
That is a piece of blank property on the north side of our property that we control. And it's that grassy, woodsy knoll up there. And it has been designated by this board to create an outdoor space for maybe some programming, for a little bit of reading,
Peaceful.
peaceful outdoor spot.
And also that you can have your concerts out there.
Yep, concerts, yeah,
Concerts.
programming, yeah, different programming, yep. And we had gotten, you know more about this than I do. How far had we gotten along?
Unfortunately, as I recall, Drusilla indicated that she had experience with projects like this in the past. And I think we were considering her as the clerk of the work, so to speak, in terms of oversight. I really have some concerns in terms of our use of MLA as far as oversight of a project like this. I think they're great in terms of design, but in terms of a business sense, I think it's a little less than the
Moving
best.
forward with it, yeah.
They didn't know anything about the prevailing wage. That came
Yes, we had a
completely
few
out of that.
hiccups that we
And then the
noticed.
other thing that they knew nothing about until we asked the question and we didn't get any response, but when we first went out to the public for bid proposals, then after that, they told us, well, you really did it at the wrong time. But I mean, it was an after the fact thing, which we already kind of, in a sense, knew ourselves. So the day-to-day things in terms of, what's going on out there and the project management, I was honestly hoping that Drusilla would have been with us, because again, she had indicated experience in this area and has had some kind of an OSHA certification, as I recall, too.
I wouldn't have wanted to put that on the prior director, though. I really felt that was too much, and her job.
Well, I think she was actually welcoming and looking forward to it at one point.
That's water under the dam.
But I'm saying-
That's a lot of water under that
Something.
dam, right.
But going forward, are we
Yes,
gonna do that
that's-
to an acting
No, I don't know that we would.
Yeah.
And until
That's
or
why.
unless one of these candidates identifies themselves as someone with the prior experience and interest
Yeah.
and willingness, I think we want them to be aware that this project is in the offing, if you
Yeah.
will. And if someone steps up and says, gee, I love that idea, and I've been involved with this, and this, and that, in my resume, it's not listed perhaps, but I have that experience. Maybe we would move this thing a little quicker in terms of moving forward. Otherwise, I would say we just kind of hold it in abeyance for the time being.
So do I hear that at the time being, I respond that we're in the process of hiring an interim director, acting director, and that until this process is complete, this project's on hold?
I would say the project's on hold until we have a director. We're not gonna put this on an acting
Okay, a director, okay.
I don't
Okay,
think we
that's fine.
should.
Okay, that's fine. No, I hear you.
Okay.
No, that's why I'm asking.
That sounds
Okay.
reasonable.
So I would say we're putting it on hold.
And I think in terms of when we're looking at candidates, we might consider, does someone have some experience
Yeah.
in this area? This kind of, having built something or having started something from essentially
Yeah.
nothing.
On hold until full-time director's in place. Okay, very good.
I think we might need to communicate that to the Crawfords.
Yes, I will do that. Thank you. I will do that also. Yeah. Yeah,
It's not never, it's just not now.
yeah, yes. Yeah, no, I've
And I mean,
been,
we could hire a director that isn't comfortable with that.
right.
Oh, yeah.
And then we'll have to figure out which direction we want to go next. That'll be our job.
Lately, it seems that there's hardly any director of a library that hasn't been involved in
Right.
building at some way.
Something.
Yeah.
The interview process is gonna have to be good to see whether they're just telling us they'd like to do this or. Anyway, yes. All right, board members' comments and observations.
I would like to thank Richard, Ben, and Joyce for supporting me so much with the midnight story with the evening story. I really appreciate that you guys took the time to go through the process with the cohorting and you want to do this. I've done it myself, and I just really want to thank you. Thank you so much.
And bringing that up, I think we need to assign some days and times for leader to know who's coming in. I'm willing to take the first one because it can only go up from there. I'm just saying.
Oh, I thought I was gonna do the bottom.
You should have spoke up first.
Oh, you beat me to it again, Joyce.
I loved Richard's note about, I can read, but I'm not so crafty.
Well,
Well, I had fun the 2 times I went already
Ben
just to
came and
play.
joined us for
I-
2 story
I
times and
twice
played with
already.
the children.
I confess to being intimidated by the whole process, to be honest with you.
Once you do it a couple of times, you'll be fine.
Yeah, all right.
For me, they are my favorite days.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. But the kids are a riot. They're fun.
So October 16th.
I got you
We
down.
are announcing that we will
Yeah,
have.
I will put it on the calendar tomorrow.
A reader, and I will be the first week's reader.
I think the next week, unless Richard wants it.
And it's 5:30 to 6:30,
It's a Monday.
and it will start happening on Monday nights.
And I am trying to convince, my neighbor is actually, he's gonna become the chief of, the fire chief in Webster. And I'm trying to convince him to
Nice.
come, and he said if he can make it, then someone else will.
Right,
And they'll bring
great.
the gear and.
Oh, neat.
there'll be-
Cool.
That will be
Yes.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Did you just say October 16th?
Yeah. Is that right? Lita would know.
That's a
Yes.
town meeting.
Oh, no.
That's why she picked it.
Good catch.
We need to go up a week then.
Yeah.
Let me pull up my calendar just so I have the dates. in front
Well,
of me.
you're right, the 16th is
23rd.
definitely the town meeting, so we
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
hold on that.
Okay, so the
And-
23rd.
And to that point, we do have a fire chief in Dudley.
But Lita has tried and tried and tried and struck out. Maybe this, I'm sorry,
Well,
maybe
maybe
they'll-
if that gentleman
little-
from Webster
I was
comes
gonna
forward,
say,
there might be some
maybe a
pressure
little-
there.
Yeah,
Peer pressure.
exactly.
Well, maybe we can ask again in Dudley. I
I'm
feel
sorry?
like
Maybe the selectmen would like to do guest story
I
time.
think so, yes, wouldn't it?
Oh, I bet one of them might volunteer for
Yeah,
that.
I would think so. We had one who used to be the Easter Bunny, so
There you
you
go.
never know.
Okay, so
Mr.
so
Bunny's
October
not real.
23rd, story hour starting at 5:30, we said? Yeah,
5:30, yes.
that's, I don't have my
I said
calendar
that.
here. I don't have my
No,
calendar.
because I don't live here yet.
I can't open my, yeah.
Since
Well, that's my concern is the 23rd. For some reason.
And also, if I can add a comment, I would like to thank Lita for stepping in and doing some of the things that used to be done, but weren't done, and I
We
really
appreciate you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I think I would echo your
Yeah.
comment there, and I think that, thank you,
Yeah.
is in order. If we were on the
Yes.
comments.
Yes,
this
we
evening,
are.
I'm encouraged by the fact that we have what you've identified as apparently viable candidates this soon, and that many. That's encouraging.
Yeah.
So back to story hour, October 23rd.
Yep.
You
Okay,
just
the
say the
next one.
30th?
Yes.
I'm not gonna commit until I have my calendar. I didn't bring my calendar.
Yeah, well,
I'll
we'll
make-
be
Shame on-
meeting
shame
between
on
now
you.
and then
What?
anyway.
Shame on you.
I know, but you know I'll
That'll
just
be
pop
fun.
in.
Halloween, yeah.
Don't use the one in your phone.
I don't want to make a comment. I wanted to ask a
Yes,
question.
please do.
Did we pursue or look into emails and obtaining emails in Drusilla's old email address, like obtaining them? Remember we discussed
We
that?
talked about it.
And then- I'm
Because her
sorry.
account, you know, she
Yep,
moved
yep,
on,
yep,
and so
yep.
her account was closed, but
wipe
like
it.
a lot of vendors
wipe
and
it.
things were probably
wipe it.
sending her things, and it was getting bounced back or whatever,
And that's
but-
just,
They, as far as my understanding is, a month after your employment, the CW Mars has been told that your employment is done,
Yeah.
your email account is wiped.
white.
Even if you were to say, like, for example, the previous youth services librarian left Dudley and went to another library in the same position, she got a whole new email address and the previous one had been wiped.
White,
I can call and ask.
Can you call and ask?
Sure.
One of the things we were concerned about, Lita, was just if questions had gone out to vendors, or vendors
Yeah.
were in the
Well,
process of
response.
responding,
Responding with
To
quotes
anything.
or anything, we were
we
like,
just didn't wanna leave
"Ooh."
people hanging in.
That's how she went and found the materials, because we got the
So-
material for the cushions.
Right, and so, now, instead of using my email address, we have a general email address, Pearl. And so anything that I have been doing with any of the vendors now is going through Pearl, just so that that's an email address that never goes away.
Oh, good idea.
So everything has been going through there for vendors and whatnot.
And something else that we had done in our office is that if I was going to be out or something, I would send an email, but I would also keep like one person or keep the office, we call it the receptionist, but always CC to them, so that all transmission in and out,
She's
because
handling
generally
that. We didn't have any
responses coming in
problems.
will be replied to all or what have you.
I didn't
It would
wanna
come
bring
back
it up.
in there.
Yeah, thank you.
So that if for some reason I left or what have you, somebody else could still get those emails and see them. So just kind of keep that in mind, that you always wanna have a place with
Yeah.
vendors and so forth. Obviously, private
Mhm.
information you don't necessarily want
Right.
exposed.
I think the hard thing too is CW Mars requires us to change our password every 90 days. Like,
Oh, really?
oh yes.
Oh, I deal with that too.
And so we are not, so it's very hard, like, we have a few general passwords, like, to get into Evergreen that doesn't change. But even our Pearl email address changes constantly.
How
So,
long have we had a Pearl email? Oh, we have, oh. okay.
yeah, it's, yes.
I thought it sounded new, when you just brought it up, I thought this was new, and I'm like, oh,
No,
okay.
it's not new.
Oh,
But also, being that I'm the only full-time person there, no one else is, I'm the only one that's there that checks that anyway, and no one else is necessarily there enough to check it. I mean, and when we have another interim director or what have you, maybe that's a discussion point for them. But, I mean, it's easy enough to get into any of the emails. I mean, most of us write down our passwords for that stuff. There's really not much private in our work emails.
Thank you.
Any other comments, observations?
Mr. Chairman, if it's in order, I would make a motion, we adjourn.
Okay, our
That's the
next-
item on the agenda, isn't it?
Our next meeting's October 24th.
24th,
Be here. Town meeting's the 16th
Shepherd Hill.
at Shepherd Hill. And I'd just like to, because I have a big mouth and I want to repeat things, to remind everybody out in public that the Friends book sale and all the money they get from this book sale goes right back to programming in the library. And that sale is October 19th through the 21st, so less than a month away. And because of COVID and whatnot, their books numbers are down, so they are looking for donations of nicely used, good books, and that can be brought to the library. Yep.
I brought the word to work, and every day there were 2 bags sitting beside my desk. So,
Excellent.
Poor
Oh.
Dawn, I went in on 2 different occasions, she's like, oh, you have some books? And I said, I'll keep emptying the truck.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
Oh,
great.
good.
And there were kids' books, because parents were cleaning rooms,
Oh,
because
yeah.
kids were getting ready to go back to school. And there were, people who bought a bunch of books to read over the summer, they were like, oh, here's some good, and I said, this
Thank
is great,
you.
thank you
I'm
very
actually
much."
cleaning out in my father's den and a massive amount of books of crime novels and things, and they're all coming here.
It's an amazing bargain if you've been to
I
Barnes and
love
Noble.
it.
It is my favorite
No.
time of year, twice.
I've just started though, I'm really getting into audiobooks, and the
That's what I
Libby
do.
app is like.
That's what I do
Oh
every
my
day.
gosh, yeah, me too. I'm in my car too much, but,
One in my car, one in the house, and it's like.
yeah.
Oh, one last thing before we go out, one more observation. I did reach out to Greater Worcester Community Foundation because they didn't necessarily know what was going on around here. I kind of gave them an update, and we get our annual award. And that will be, as Kelly says, good timing, Ben. Because they've moved locations in Worcester.
Yeah.
And she says, oh, good timing. We were a little behind, but I'm looking at them on my desk. So they'll be going out in the next day or two. I said, great, thank you.
I will use the new system and put that
There
in
you
there.
go.
and deposit that.
Perfect. That's all I have. Okay, I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion to adjourn this meeting at 7:21.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion to adjourn at 7:21. Do I have a second?
Yes.
We have a second. And all in favor? Aye. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.